Happy Sunday. Hi. It's been a while, guys. How are you? I hope you're well. It's 2021 started with a bang, pretty much where 2020 left off. And that was all of just an overnight shift. That's all it was. How are you guys? How are you doing? Hello. Yeah, it's been a while since I did this live, and I thought let me do it today because, well, I felt like it, and I feel like I have a couple of things to say. Besides the fact that we proper saw flames in 2020, I just think that 2021 will pretty much be same or more or worse or better. Who knows, you know? We definitely unpromised tomorrow, so we just start off where we are. I was saying this to a friend of mine. I said, you're so excited that we're leaving 2021 behind, but I'm like, you're probably gonna get to 2021 and be like, shucks, maybe we can go back to 2020. But I think this is it, right? This is the life lessons that we're taking, that, nothing is guaranteed in life. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. I've said this so many times. I've said, waking up is a gift. So yeah, of course, we can only hope for the best, but I think we should always be prepared for the worst. And that starts from what do you do every single day? How do you build up your mental and emotional muscle? Because it is in times like this that are incredibly hard that you get to use it. That you get to test how resilient you are, and I think that's what it is. It's about resilience, and unfortunately, a lot of people, when hard times hit or the hardest seasons of their lives, they find them unprepared. Because that muscle is not strong, that muscle hasn't been exercised. So it's hard, yes, but we are still breathing. So I'm just a big believer in the fact that for as long as we've got breath in our bones, there's nothing we cannot conquer. And that, in fact, there's nothing that we can't just hang in there and wait for the next season to come, because ultimately seasons do change, and they always change. And whether it's a great one now, or it's there's no telling how long it lasts. But one thing is guaranteed: we all have seasons, and they shift all the time. So how are you doing? Tell me how you're doing. I'm quite happy to also take some questions today. I've absolutely gone through some challenging times. But the strangest thing, and I think sometimes I stand back and look at myself and think, Amanda, what people you have had to look after. I've had to look after my husband, and literally it was really hard to watch him sick. To watch him mentally struggling, because my husband is the kind of person that's like, when he has a headache, he'll say, I'll drink water, I'll be fine, So he's a person that doesn't get sick. He trains 7 days a week. He's just up and about, and he's healthy. I can also tell you, he doesn't drink as much as I do. But somehow, he got ill. And I think mentally for him, that was the struggle. So that was hard. But, I kept saying to people, I'm really good. I'm taking it in my stride, because that's what I've got. That's the card I've been dealt right now. So I'm gonna have to deal with it. So I didn't fall apart. I didn't panic. Was I worried? Of course I was worried. But again, this is what I'm talking about, resilience, and what we do every single day to build up our resilience. Because you only know how resilient you are when you need it. When you are in the middle of that valley, or a dark place, or when you are needing to really push on harder than you've ever pushed on before. And so it wasn't hard to look after my husband. It was actually the easiest thing to do, because I really like the guy. I think he's so cool, and so looking after him wasn't hard. It was just watching him sometimes mentally struggle with the fact that he's ill. That was hard to take on some days, but I had to stay strong. I had to stay strong for him, because if I worried, then if I showed any kind of worry, in fact, then he worries, then the kids worry, then everybody worries. So again, I took it in my stride and did what had to be done. And thank God he has pulled through. But I mean, the actual recovery is a long, full healing, that is a long process, because wow, guys, COVID, it ravages, eh? And it acts so rapid and so fiercely. And we really are fortunate that he's still alive. I mean, I don't want to tell his story, but what he's had to go through is really, really incredible. And there is no, I don't see any like, it's not like my prayers are more special than other people. It's not like I'm more special than other people. I just think that perhaps his purpose hasn't been fulfilled yet. He's still here for a reason. And yeah, it's just not his time. I really believe in that. I really believe it's really, it depends. Is it your time or is it not? And I didn't get sick, the kids didn't get sick, but he literally was like, it was serious. It was touch and go. So no, I didn't struggle with it. I just had to do it, Hi everybody, hello. Hi Carol, hello. Yeah, I know, and we are the fortunate ones, because people have lost their lives in by the numbers, and unfortunately, that's the sadness of it. But and this is something you've probably heard me say as well, and I still say it, even when I was sitting, dealing with my husband's illness, and also, thinking, oh, I could also have the COVID and have the COVID and die, But the truth is, and I've said this every day, the only moment we actually really have is the one we have now. You can't guarantee what's going to happen tomorrow. You can't leave things out for tomorrow. You can't say only tomorrow I'll do it. Only, So it's really a matter of remembering, even outside of the COVID period, if I may put it that way. People still die. The one thing we are definitely guaranteed is that we're all walking the same path. It's just a matter of when and how. And every time I say that, people tend to be like, no, I don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. It's the honest truth. Whether you avoid hearing it or not, it's gonna happen. So what do we do in the moment to make sure that when we are gone, we in that moment, or in that last moment of our lives, we can say proudly that we've done everything that we've had to do. That we've done the best with the lives that we've got, and that we've actually chased our passions, our purpose, because I think that's what brings life. That's just being alive is that's an act of God, but living is completely up to us. And I really think that the living must happen now. I always say the dream life is now. It's we can't be waiting for tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised, not guaranteed, and it never was, by the way. It's not that suddenly we realize this. It never was guaranteed. It's just, unfortunately, it's now happening by the masses and by the numbers because of the pandemic we're in. So yeah, I between that and having my daughters start high school and my son start grade 5, it was really exciting to have them back at school. And by the way, we're well out of the COVID virus thing in our house, because my husband, in fact, was infected on the 18th of December, and it's a long way back. It's just trying to deal with the after effects and the aftermath of the virus. So it was safe for the kids to go back to school. I mean, we also carry on, but he's still in the isolation room, because every now and then he has to get on his oxygen in the night. So, we kind of just, he's actually decided he's not going to come back to bed yet, because he just needs to get himself 100%, where he's not waking up 5 times in the night and this oxygen tank is not going it's like, it makes this sound. Oh my Lord. But yeah, these are the things we've had to deal with. These are the things that life throws at us. It's the resilience, I think. And you've heard me say this quite a few times. I've in fact tackled it in one of my live sessions where I say, tough times are going to come. Seasons do change. And when I say seasons change, I don't mean you're just always in a great season. You also are faced with a really difficult season. And the question is, what have you been building? What have you been putting inside of you to ensure that you can withstand those hard times? Because hard times come, and they come in different fashions, in different styles, in different forms, in different circumstances. They come, but what have you been doing to build up your resilience? What have you been doing to make sure that when these storms come, you are bold enough to walk through the storm and go through the storm, understanding that you can't, there's no way around the storm. And I can assure you this, I've said even in my book, there is no way around the storm. The storm is straight through it. Yeah, straight through it. And when you boldly decide you are going to walk through the storm, somehow you keep building up your resilience. And I think that's the thing with resilience. It's not something, it is like exercising that muscle. When you, every day, the more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. And I think that our resilience has been tested significantly this period, this season. And if anything, if you don't have that, if you haven't got that mental strength to keep pushing on through the hard times, to go through the storm and say, I'm going to get on the other side no matter what, then you really struggle. And I think the large number of people that have struggled significantly are probably people that feel like, all I do is constantly get hit by life's challenges. But that's you don't always choose that card. So it's, what do you do every single day? How do you build up your resilience? How do you look at challenges? Do you see challenges as that thing that's going to finish you? Or do you see challenges as, oh, this is just another hurdle that I have to climb over? That's how I see challenges. I see challenges as a significant part of my life. In business, all I do is deal with challenges. My revenues are down 43%. We were flying and thriving, and then the next day, you're taking a dive. But the truth is that that's just life. That's just standard. We're not, popping bottles and drinking P2 all the time. We are over. we are living beings. We are human beings who are faced with these challenges. So I really think that we must spend the time. And I hope in some shape or form this has also allowed us the opportunity to reassess what is important to us. So now think about it. We've had time at home. We've had the moments to be with ourselves, because now you can't avoid yourself. You can't avoid, and I mean this dating back to 2020, where it's so far back now, I've even forgotten about it. When we were all locked down and, we had to either face up to ourselves or face up to the company that we keep and the people that we've decided are our life partners or people that we're sharing our homes with. And the truth is that, during normal activity, let me use normal activity. You are running away from yourself quite often. You're running to work. You're stuck in traffic. You're running to work. You're constantly on emails. You're constantly on calls. You're constantly school drop off, extracurricular, cook supper, you name it. You're constantly doing it. Mother, friend, husband, grannies, you name it. It's a lot. And what this period has afforded us is an opportunity to just pause and in fact slow things down a bit, and then yourself shows up and it's like, hello, I've been here trying to get your attention. Your body shows up and it says, hello, you've neglected me for so long. I've been here, I've been trying, I've been knocking, I've been telling you I'm not okay, but you have not been listening. And you name it, we now faced or had to, and I hope that, we grab the opportunity to say, okay. I appreciate the opportunity that I've been given. It is coming from a difficult place, but I'm going to own this opportunity and say, how do I come back to myself? How do I look at myself differently? What do I do differently? And also my surroundings. What kind of environment have I fostered for, not just for myself and my soul to thrive, but for my children, for everyone around me, or anyone in my care, or, whatever your circumstances are. And a lot of people, unfortunately, were faced with the realities of what they've been running away from for years. And I know this because I dealt with quite a lot of that, even privately, people talking to me and asking me for advice privately. And the truth is that, we must see the opportunity in every difficulty. Every difficulty brings about its own opportunity. And I really believe that, life is two sides of the coin. You're not always experiencing the one side, there's also the other side. So we must be willing to tackle even the hardest challenges and the hardest seasons with the same vigor that we tackle the exciting ones, because guaranteed the hard ones will come. So and we only have the moment that we have. So I really hope that in some way, shape or form, you took the time to reassess what's important to you and start building up those boundaries. Because without boundaries, you're constantly then pulled in many different directions, and you take in people's energy, and unfortunately the energy you take in isn't always the greatest of energy. So I hope you found a way to know that you have to start choosing what energy you consume, because that has got a direct impact on your state of mind and your well-being. And I really think that if you are constantly surrounded by people who see themselves as victims of their circumstances and, helpless and you name it, you might just feel dragged down. So energy is everything. I'm an energy being. I can't fake anything. I can't. My energy just gives it all away. But we have to hang in there. That's the bottom line. We in fact, that's the only choice. The only choice is to hang in there and keep pushing, because the other available alternatives are not going to serve us. So, because beyond this, there's still, if we are gifted tomorrow, there's still all of this life that we have to live. So I really think that in some shape or form, also my having to deal with my own difficulties is quite impacted by the kind of energy I carry inside of me. What I believe about my life, who I believe I am, why I'm here. And the understanding that I'm determined to keep going, to keep pushing. For as long as I'm breathing, I'm gonna do it. So there's no hard time that's gonna knock me off my energy level. In the moment, I always say, I think I was made for hard times. I think I was really born for hard times, because the good times too, because I know how to rock them. I absolutely know how to rock them. but when hard times hit, I'm that person that's like literally I zone in and I'm like, okay, what do we need to do? And I do my best and leave the rest to God. And if I can't control it, there's nothing I can do about it. If it was time for my husband to go, it's not like, I would be able to stand in the way of that anyway. So what I had to do though was make sure that I've given the best care I could. But in those moments, even when you are faced with the possible reality that you can lose your life partner, the one thing I kept saying is, and I was, me and him chat a lot. Oh gosh, even when he was sick, we would like crack jokes about Things that if you heard us talk, you'd be thinking no one in this house is almost dying from COVID. But that's what keeps us going. But in that moment, I started looking back at, I mean, I've been with him for 15 years. We'll be married 14 years this year. I look back on all of that time with him, and I can assure you, I sat there and all was well with me. You know, I was at peace with whatever was going to happen. But ultimately, I handed it all over to God because I am not in control of that. I'm not in charge of it. So I prayed, of course, for a different outcome, and I appreciate everyone's prayers and well wishes. But ultimately, you know, I look back on our time, and I said, there is nothing I would have changed. There's nothing I didn't say. There is nothing I didn't experience. There is, in fact, I in my heart of hearts, I kept saying, you know, I have had the most wonderful years with him. And if this was time for God to take him, then that was well with my soul. I would have just had to deal with that, you know, and the heartache that comes with that. And unfortunately, having to tell your little children that their dad is gone is something that I don't think anyone is ever prepared for. But you know, again, it's how do we prepare ourselves and our children for hard times? Because that's the reality of it, is we're all gonna go through them. So let me see. Sorry, I've just been like because I had a lot to say today. Oh yeah. But we continue to thank God. We know that things are going to turn around. And when they do turn around, we will be there. We will keep going. We will ride the wave. We will go through the storm. We will, you name it, we will do it. Because there is no other alternative. For me, there is no alternative. There is no, I retract to a negative position. I have never done that in my life. I will not do it ever. Because I spent an insane amount of time investing in myself, investing in understanding that I have come from a negative place. And honestly, I didn't have much control over that. However, I have full control over what I do with my life now. I've got full control over how I show up every day for myself, for my husband, for my kids, for my friends, whoever I've decided I care for, you know, whatever causes I've decided I care for. And if I'm not okay, I can't do any of these things. And then an insane amount of people depend on me to be okay. It's not pressure though for me. It's not like, you know, someday I'm gonna fall apart because, oh my gosh, it's so much. No. I know how to listen to myself. If my body says, Amanda, it's okay now, you've done enough, I take the break. And I guess that's the thing when you're doing things that you're passionate about, they don't feel like an effort, they don't feel like work, they don't feel like you are going out of your way to do something that is counterintuitive. So it's literally just everything I do, I embody it with the soul that I've chosen is how I show up with the world, or to the world and to myself. So what you see is me here at home, I'm the same person. Everywhere, I'm the same person. And I allow myself the space and room to not be okay sometimes, and then say, okay, Amanda, it's time to, you know, just chill. And unfortunately, if you don't have those boundaries, if you don't develop that sense of how far am I willing to go and what am I willing to take and what is going to come into my space and how does that impact who I am and how I show up, if you don't have a very clear understanding of that, you're going to have a serious problem, because then everything is just going to be consumed. You need to be discerning about what kind of energy you're consuming, because guys, you can't just be going around sniffing all the stuff, eh? No, please. And if you're so dead set on being this amazingly beautiful looking person, you have got to be very clear about what it is that you're taking inside of you, you know, because it determines how you show up in the world. It determines who you are. It determines how you show up for yourself. So that alignment of mind, body, soul, and just your spirit, and I really believe underpinned by whatever your faith is critical. And I hope that 2020 and going into 2021 has really been about that shift and understanding that, you know, we are still going to face hard times in life. We're going to have good times too. Businesses are going to come back. They're going to thrive. Guys, I also have properties, and they've been standing empty, for a long time. And these are not just, properties in J, it hits. But again, how have you prepared for all of that? What have you been doing building up to the tough moments, and knowing though again that they don't last, so we must be determined to succeed. We must be determined to rise above them. And I am full on engaged in my life. I have every single thing I need to live and continue to living a fulfilled life. And even with me, even if I get to a point in my life where my life is ending or has ended, I can 100% assure you there is nothing I regret about my life. There is nothing I have not done in my life that I've wanted to do. There isn't, and I'm that person that keeps checking my soul. I keep checking in. I'm like, hey, what's happening there? Are you okay? Anything else I need to? I am perfectly where I am supposed to be. I have lived my life exactly how I wanted to live it. I was dealt cards that I didn't like when I was younger, but when I was in a position to change my life, I did that. I purposefully decided to do that. And it doesn't mean I have everything. It doesn't mean there are things I don't long for, but actually there are things I don't actually long for much. So yeah, let me tell you that I don't long for much, because I really believe I have everything I need. Even though I don't have everything I want, I have everything I need. I've got love. I've got, I've got a sense of purpose. I've got positivity around me. I have direction, and I always focused on what is the vision for my life and how do I go about realizing it. And everything you do must be about enabling that vision, because if it's not enabling your vision, all you're going to do is drain your energy doing things that you shouldn't be doing, things that don't align to your vision. So I'm that person that I've got a great sense of contentment. I've got a great sense of achievement. I've got a great sense of my life has been a fantastic ride, and continues to be in every moment that I have, in the hardships that I've had, in dealing with myself and deciding who am I and how do I want to be, how do I show up, all of those moments have been my life, have been the most amazing ride, and even in the midst of hardship, I have this deep-seated joy that nobody can ever take away from me, so again, other people might be like, but Amanda, guys, my husband, I don't know how my husband is alive. Let me just put it that way. I don't know how. The guy even had a pulmonary embolism. I don't know anyone who's ever survived a pulmonary embolism. That's a blood clot in your lungs. He's still alive. And even in those moments, even having had to deal with that and face on, look at him and think this is probably it, I still have had this inside of me. I'm not shifted, I'm not fundamentally changed for the worst. Instead, I'm given an opportunity to even be more grateful, I'm given an opportunity to be even more in tune with the fact that every single moment matters, because you do not know when it will be gone. You don't know when it will be gone. So my heart goes out to all the people who have lost their loved ones. It is not easy. It cannot be easy. But the lesson in that is we are all gonna go anyway, and we must in every way, in every shape or form, use every single moment for the things that matter. Because when we are faced with the end of our lives, it will probably be the only thing that matters. It's what have I done with my life? So I think I've done a lot with my life. God has been on my side. I've never doubted his love. I've never doubted, that I was born for great things. I just had to live and grow into them. And I had to work and grow into them. So in the middle of hardship, I'm still solid. I'm still like, yeah, let's go, let's do it, let's deal with it, And it's been really kind to have even, some of my in-laws thanking me about how I've looked after him. Inside of me, I'm like, actually, okay, that's really nice to hear. I mean, like, but I don't need anyone to thank me for looking after my husband. He's my husband, and I chose him to be my life partner. And to be honest, it's the first time some of these vows, you start putting them to like real use. You're like, oh, sickness and health. I see. If you marry someone you don't like, the sickness part, is difficult. It is hard. But if you really like them, you're like, I want you to be well, But it is nice of them to say thank you. But I think with in-laws, maybe they're always wondering, you took our person, what's your intention? Yeah, anyway, thank you guys. Thank you very much. Okay, let me see. I've been reading some of your comments, so I'm going to take some questions if you have any. If you don't, I'll just keep rambling on. Because I really feel like there's in fact, I don't ramble, please. As I take a sip of my water. Yes, I'm not drinking any champagne today. I didn't yesterday either. I listen to my body. When my body says, Amanda, I push up, I'm like, sure, So I just take my breaks when the body says no. But I also think, it's good to check your levels of alcoholism. Alcoholism. You must check your levels of alcoholism. Your dependence on alcohol is something that you need to be checking every single day. If you struggle to not drink, you need to just reposition your mind. So yeah, of course, I'm that person. Everything I do must be about, okay, I am in full control of my circumstances and what I can do. So so I do have lots of wine and lots of champagne. I'm sorry to the people who don't have, but I'm just on a break. I might be on a break now. The break might end after this live or tomorrow or next month. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. Hey guys, thank you so much. I appreciate this. Lido Gushle says, how do you tackle people who doubt your abilities? Well, first of all, your abilities are for you and only you to understand and harness. In life, I guess we are faced, and I don't know, you probably are in corporate or whatever, or not, you can tell me. We constantly are faced with the overwhelming desire and need to prove ourselves, because proving ourselves is linked to reward. So you constantly have to show people your abilities, because if you don't do that, then the rewards don't come. But whilst that's fine within the confines of your job, I really think that we if you fully understand and appreciate who you are and what your abilities are, you must be comfortable in yourself. You must be comfortable and be confident in the fact that you are great at what you do, And if you are in a place, and I've said this before, if you are constantly with people where you overly have to be justifying your existence and constantly proving yourself, then you probably are with people who truly don't appreciate you, and you're in an environment that does not appreciate you. But also, again, I'm talking from a point of, you have it's not an overly inflated self of abilities, right? Because there's some people who think they have great abilities, but they, they don't. So I'm assuming you've got great abilities and you are able to say proven ability. But I think, when you do have that great sense of self and a great level of confidence in who you are and what you bring to the table, you do get to a point where you no longer have to keep justifying your existence. So I think, and you said you're in corporate, so it's always a difficult one in corporate, because if you don't show your abilities, the reward doesn't come. But it's such a fine line as well, because you are there, you are in the job because you deserve it. So why must you constantly, every single day, justify your existence? And by the way, showing skill and doing your job every day, that's just what you have to do. That's what you get paid for. But I'm talking about this constant and over need for justifying why you're there, why you even have that job. That's abuse. So that's the best I can say right now. It's my pleasure, guys. It's my pleasure. Let's see another question. I'm just gonna have to go back. And yeah, just put your questions in that little question mark box, and then I can get to it. Tsecho says, I also had to take care of my husband and kids. I had to be strong and pull through for them. I'm glad everything has worked out well. It's definitely not easy. It's an incredibly difficult thing to have to do, balancing children and their worry. So I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. God bless you. Everything is good. And I always say that children take their energy from us as parents. And without even making this agenda or without making it a political statement, honestly, in the home, if the mom panics, then everything kind of goes downhill. and I guess this is why people are like, it's so hard to be a mother, it's so hard to be a woman. But I think we I don't know about people's ways of dealing with their emotions. I'm the person that doesn't panic. I don't lose my marbles, because I'm always okay. This is the situation, what do we do? And then I always say, I'll deal with myself another time. I mean, my husband is like, yo, babe, thank you so much for your support and looking after me. He said, you can even buy yourself a diamond. I was like, I don't need a diamond. I did what I had to do because I really like you. But don't worry, when this is over and we've all forgotten, I'm going to be like, about that diamond. So I know how to reward myself, and in a way, I think that does also focus me, because I know this is what I have to deal with in the moment, and I have the most amazing ability to compartmentalize. So I can compartmentalize things. I'm a person that doesn't transfer from one bucket to another. So my husband is sick, okay, I have to focus on my husband being sick. Or my kids still need love, and they still need their mother, they still need food, they still need nurture. I have to do that too. I have to, so I don't, because I'm dealing with my husband's sickness, now I have nothing to give to the children. No, it's for me, I know how to deal with them as separate events on their own. And in a way, I think that really helps me to push on, because I'm able to dissociate. What's the English word? I haven't had to speak English, guys, a lot, so and I don't have a dictionary here. But anyway, I'm able to disassociate myself from it, and I'm a person that can emotionally detach. And that comes from, and I write about this in Baked in Pain, that comes from, years of having to deal with my own trauma and make sense of it and understand how am I going to go through it. And so emotional, that I am able to just emotionally disconnect from a situation and make sure that, I do what I need to do. Because if I'm emotionally investing and dissociate, is that the right word? Okay, let's see. Where's Carol in her English? I trust her. Thanks, guys. Dissociate. Woo! It's tough, this English thing. But anyway, so I think in a way, I can then, I'm almost like, okay, I'll then deal with my emotions in the Amanda bucket when I'm like, okay, now it's fine. I'll take that shopping trip and get myself that diamond. Then I can sit at the spa and I can drink my champagne and be like, yo, Amanda, you know how to you do things, sis. So I've had those moments here at home when I just sat and had some champagne and I was like, wow, you've done this, you've gone through it, and you are still here. But I also talked to the children about it. We explained to them, what COVID does. We explained to them, we talk about a life generally. We don't spare them from the hard stuff, Serena says, so is it you guys are all giving me different things. Disassociate, dissociate, I don't know. It's one of them though. I think you got it. Sis Amanda, is the Uplifting Brunch still happening in November 2021? Love, it's January 2021. So I don't know what's going to happen in November 2021. But the one thing I know for sure is that we are going to have the brunch. Pretty much like last year, we were supposed to have it in April. We ended up having it in November. I can assure you it is going to happen when it can happen. And as of now, it's November 2021. So we'll see. Actually, I think we probably have sold out now already. I haven't checked the system, but if anything, there's probably just a few tickets left. Tejo says, I had to switch off my phone as the messages from people were getting too much and I had to block off the world and take care of the family. I can so relate to what you're saying. Yeah, and I must say, that's also something I experienced where people want to, when people know that you're dealing with, like, I told pretty much the world that I was dealing with a COVID situation in my home. And the reason I did that is because I really, really, really would never, ever want to only tell you about my good times, because then I'm lying to you. I'm hiding the other part of a significant part of who I am. And I mean, a lot of people, by the way, have been texting me directly, privately, and telling me about their own struggles with COVID. It's their right not to say publicly what they're dealing with. But for me, it was important to say it, and I did get permission from my husband to say it, because it's not just my story, and because I want people to know that, first of all, COVID doesn't only happen to a certain kind of person, and that you need to be aware that even when you are your fittest, you have great food, you've got great home, you've got whatever, COVID will still hit you, and it will hit you hard. So you have to be careful. You have to do the best that you can. You have to make sure that you play your part. So even if you still catch COVID, but you were at least careful. But you also know that I personally think if my husband wasn't this healthy, maybe he really wouldn't have survived. But that I will live, because I don't know why my husband made it and others haven't made it, because there's a significant amount of people who are healthy, just as healthy, train, you name it, they didn't make it. So again, I always go back to it's your time or it's not your time. So a lot of people were calling and offering advice, and okay, I think the family is the worst to deal with, because I guess in a way they are also panicking. And then my mom-in-law is a retired nurse, and some people have had COVID in their family. So everyone wants to give you their opinions of what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And that is difficult to deal with, because then you're like, actually, you know what? Either I'm going to exit this WhatsApp group, but exiting an in-laws WhatsApp group, I don't think that's like the best move. Yeah, but I also had to tell them, guys, he's got a doctor. Oh wait, he has me. I'm looking after him and executing on doctor's orders, because every person's COVID is different. It's not the same. Of course, there's basic things that we can do that are similar: steaming, drinking their concoctions that I've posted about it, etc. But ultimately, when it comes to someone that's already severely ill, your opinion of umhlonyan is not gonna actually solve the problem. This person is already on antibiotics, already une pulmonary embolism. I don't know what your opinion is gonna help with. Anyway. So I think everyone cares and everyone wants him to be okay, and everyone, but I think also there's a point when it's overwhelming, because if I'm busy and I've literally zoned into looking after my husband, picking up your WhatsApp call or responding to your WhatsApp or calling you back is not at the top of my list or my priority. So, but you understand that people are coming from a place of care and they really want everything to work out well. But you also must know how to disassociate yourself from it and just focus on what you need to focus on. So it's important that we appreciate where it comes from, but it can be a lot. And I agree with you. I mean, there was a time when I felt I was a bit antisocial as well, but I had to be, because I can't be nursing your problems whilst also dealing with my own in my home. So it was just prioritizing that. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Yeah, I'm saying all the things you people want to say. I always city at Safari, Botswana, I think this is. I will always respect you because you reignite the ambitious person I am after having lost it 3 years ago. You're just fab and real. Thank you, Sis Amanda. Oh, thank you so much. No, don't lose your ambition. Without ambition, there's very little excitement in life. You must be ambitious. Being ambitious is waking up and finding purpose and finding reason to keep going. And I mean, I know we've come from places where ambition was seen as such a bad thing, It's wanting to have a better life. It's wanting to do better. Why not? What's so wrong with that? So don't ever lose your ambition, no matter what. No matter how hard life hits you, you must hit back harder, and I think hitting back harder is about, I have this moment and I'm going to use it to the best of my ability. I'm going to do everything I can with it. So yeah, no, this is I'm glad to hear that I helped you ignite the flame. So let me take some questions. How did you raise capital to start your first business? I cashed out my pension fund. I had only 80,000 rands. Read my book, Baked in Pain. Next question. I love that you say you like your husband. This is very important in a relationship, to like who you love, as this makes the union you have with him enough and lasting. I really believe that there's, and I'm not a marriage expert, okay? I always declare this one, because you people are going to quote me to your partners and then I'm in trouble. My opinion is that love alone will get you, love will get you to a point. You have to love the person. For me, that's the grounding, that's the foundation. But there's a sense of, I really also like him as a human being. I want what's best for him, even if he was no longer with me. That's how I feel about him. Even if somewhere along the line, and I was telling him, I'm like, yeah, we're now in your life-changing COVID, near death. And then you think, hey, Amanda, thanks for looking after me. Bye-bye. I want a fresher one. Guys, I'm turning 43 in a few weeks' time. And I'm like, he's 46. I'm like, you people headed towards 50. Maybe you're like, some gentle meat on the bones would be good. I'm like, Shem, I don't care. If that's what you want to do, I'm happy for you. I never want anyone to be with me out of pity or obligation. I want you to come home to me because, damn, I'm worth it and you can't wait. All right? I don't want or because we are married, I must, I've got too much pride for that, man. It released me, namge, this fire with shelf. I'll be like, yo, I could also use some fresh meat. It's not just reserved for you only. So yeah, and my husband and I joke like that, by the way. So I don't even know what the question was. Yes, it's important to like your person, because the liking of the human being themselves goes a really long way. It goes beyond, just love. And love grows with time, and it changes with time. It evolves, it matures, it starts to show up as something different. And when you are able to appreciate that, you are actually you are life partners, and you're experiencing life, you're growing together, and the expectation is that you should grow together as individuals, but still have this connectedness and the overarching vision of your union. And I that's very important. It's important to like your partner, because even when they do irritating things, if you don't like them, and when they're sick, if you don't like them, there's no money. In that moment, money doesn't matter. Power doesn't matter. None of these things matter in that moment. What matters in that moment is, how do you genuinely feel about this human being in front of you? All right, let me see. In the question box, Tembani says, how does one find their purpose? I am a breadwinner. I feel guilty to quit my horrible job to pursue different, okay, that's all I can get right now. So how does one find their purpose? I'm a breadwinner and feel, so I think that you're a breadwinner and you feel guilty to quit your horrible job to pursue something else, or to pursue something else. But purpose and being a breadwinner and a job are not it's not one or the other. You can have a job and still pursue your purpose, and you being a breadwinner doesn't mean you compromise purpose. Purpose is the overarching reason for your life. Why do you exist? It's your why. Why are you here? What do you believe is the reason for your existence? Where do you believe you will make the most impact when you look at your life? What are those things that you really are passionate about, and what matters to you? So I don't think it's purpose and breadwinning or job. It's this here. It's this. It's how does I think the critical thing is, how does what you do every single day enable your purpose? So some people are not breadwinners. They have no idea what their purpose is. Some people have tons of money, have no idea what their purpose is. So how do you find your purpose? You grow into your purpose. You invest time and emotional investment into understanding who you are and what is your reason for existence. Why are you here? Because it can't be that we're just here to pay taxes and die. No, it's okay, we are here to do that too, because that you can't afford. However, it's what do you then do with your life every single day? What is it when you have discovered something that absolutely fundamentally gives you an overwhelming sense of, this is why God put me on this earth? That's when you found your purpose. And it's something that you have to purposefully invest in, purposefully work on, and you grow into it. You don't wake up and be like, oh yes, I have my purpose. That no, it's you don't drop out of your mother's you're not born and then you have purpose. No, you invest in yourself, in understanding who you are, how you came to be, and where you're going with your life. And what is it about your life that is going to transform either you or those around you. And you start to then understand, what are you passionate about? How can you change? And passion and purpose also is not, it's not necessarily, like the two are not mutually exclusive. Whatever you do that you're passionate about can be leading to a purposeful life. And passion is almost a key ingredient to living a purposeful life, but it's not a determinant of your purpose, because you could do amazingly passionate things and have zero idea of what your purpose is. So it's just that understanding that you found something that is meaningful, that is beyond you, and that you're risen for existence. What is it? And I hope I've done some justice on that. Time is almost over. Are you going to do another hour, please? Thank you. What time is it? Okay. And put your questions in the question box, guys, because the comments fly by. I can't go back to your questions. And I must also say, remember I did announce that I'm going to have a mentorship session of 2 hours a month. And I really need you to send these mentorship type questions and corporate type questions, business type questions to vastlysage@amandadambuza.com. That's vastlysage@amandadambuza.com. And I'll be able to answer them, and I'll do justice to them. I'm just posting that email address here. And then I'll be able to spend a little more time on them and give you, give you more insight. I must do a detailed live on my academic journey. Oh no, I've done many lives on my academic journey. And actually, buy my book, Baked in Pain. It's only $200. It will tell you so much more. Which bookstores can I buy my book? You can't buy my book from any bookstore. You can buy it from me though, amandadambuza.com. My book is available at amandadambuza.com. So let me add that here. Book at amandadambuza.com. Okay, let's see another question. Vic says, how do you become comfortable with yourself and learn your true self? You have to, like you go to school and you learn, you invest that much energy into it. And it's about, and I said it earlier, it's about what are you investing your time in? Who are you? Where have you come from? It's actually that basic, guys. There's no, I promise you, there is no like mind-blowing process to it. It's actually sitting down with yourself, looking at yourself, your soul, that is. Not though, you can take a mirror, it's fine, but the point is, look inside yourself and say, who am I? Where have I come from? What has shifted? What has shifted? What has shaped my understanding of life, how I show up, and what is my sense of self? Who do I believe I am? And in this process, of also trying to get to your purpose, these are the steps you go through. It's spend the time understanding who you are. People invest so much time in understanding who their partners are. When you're still dating, you invest so much in trying to understand who this person is. You want to please them. You want to do whatever they like so that they're happy. You make them happy. No, this is the process, similar energy, you do even more because you need to be making yourself happy. What makes you happy? What doesn't make you happy? What are the things that you love doing? What don't you love doing? What are you passionate about? What are you not passionate about? I don't see how you can get to a purpose, your higher purpose, if you haven't invested in yourself. If you haven't invested in understanding that. If you haven't invested in understanding, what are the things that I carry that I shouldn't be carrying? Why do I still carry them? Why do I continue to carry them? And how am I showing up in the world? And why do people's opinions of myself matter to me more than my opinion of myself? And remember, most of these things are 100% influenced by how we've grown up, how our world was shaped. And we constantly have to learn new things and get rid of others. You know, we constantly have to change the realities that we were given when we were children. But when you're older, it is completely up to you. So you decide. And you know, growing into yourself and growing in your confidence, it's about investing in yourself. It's not you because you are me, I should just wake up and know myself. No, you have to invest in it. If you don't, you will fall for the wrong people, you will fall for the wrong jobs, you will stay in the wrong jobs, you will fall for the wrong friends. Everything you do is not going to be in alignment with who you are, because you don't know who you are. And you'll be one of those, okay, I'm preaching now. Oh, it's this Sunday. You'll be one of those people who is happy that somebody wants to have a relationship with them. You need to be the one that's choosing. You'll be one of those people who are happy that people want to be friends with. No, people must be kissing your feet. They must be like, I am so lucky to have you as a friend. It can't be that you are chasing after everyone just because you want to feel needed, and you want to feel loved, and you want to feel, you feel like you matter. Those are all the things you must give yourself. And as a result, when you choose people to be in your life, be it your friends, your partners, you name it, you are choosing people that are in alignment with your soul. You, in fact, end up kissing your own feet and be like, wow, look at you, girl. You're choosing the right people. You're choosing the right energy. But even if you've made the mistake of not choosing the right people, you first realize it. You realize that, why is it that when I'm with this person, my energy doesn't feel right? And I always say the best gauge, when you are with people and you walk away not feeling great about yourself, if you are constantly feeling that way every time you are with some people or with a specific person, a specific individual, cut them out of your life. They're not good for you. They are eating away at your sense of self. Now, you need to understand, why is that? What is it about them, about what they say, about what they do? And jobs, guys, this idea that, if I let go of one job, I won't get another. That's nonsense. You are limiting yourself. You are limiting in yourself in your thinking. You are still stuck in scarcity mentality. You have to be thinking, there are plenty of jobs out there that are good for me. I'm not going to be stuck in a place where nobody values me. The minute you have to be constantly justifying who you are, what your abilities are, where you've come from, why you deserve the position, or why you deserve the role, the minute every day it's about that, it's exhausting, it's draining, and it simply means you are surrounded by people who don't value you. And there is nothing you can do to make people who don't value you. There's nothing, because it has got nothing to do with you. It doesn't matter what you do. If they don't value you, they don't value you. You are going to be one of those people who are constantly overworked, who are constantly burning out because you bend backwards for everyone. They go and have their braais and have drinks, when now you're still in the office doing their work because you're trying to prove yourself to somebody. They'll never, if they don't value you, if they don't look at you as a human being and say, you deserve to be here. And nobody's perfect. There isn't a single person that does their job 100% all the time. Everybody has got their own cycles. If people don't allow you the space to be that, and they constantly picking on the times that you're not great and never praise the times that you are and reward that, you are in the wrong company of people, of individuals, of bosses, of you name it, you are in the wrong it. So your happiness and your joy is nobody else's business but yours. Your value, your abilities, your skill. You can learn skills. You can go study. You can constantly do trainings. You can read up on things that you need to read up on. But the fact that you constantly have to be justifying who you are and why you are here, that is a problem. That's a serious problem. So I say the best gauge is, when you are walking away from somebody, from an engagement, from a conversation, if you walk away and you feel awful about yourself, you feel like you are not enough. Guys, even if it is Instagram, all these things that you guys do, if you look at somebody's post and you walk away feeling like your life does not matter, or your life is not, don't believe that. Stay in your lane and work on what you need to work so that you have the life that you want. This visual, people show you what they want you to see. Often they don't want to show you the hard stuff. They don't want to tell you about the hard stuff. They don't want to tell you that what they're posting now is actually a lie, right? And I'm not saying everyone that posts stuff is a lie. I don't post lies. Everything you see in my life is what is happening. Somebody asked me, is this really your life? I'm like, yeah. Ask anyone who knows me, what you see is my life. I don't go and create a moment. I'm in the moment and I take a photo of it and I post it if that's what I want to do. So, and there are plenty of people who are like that, who show the realness of life. But if you're constantly consuming energy that says your life is not worthy and mine is the greatest, oh, I've done it this way and mine is fantastic, and oh Shem, when now, what's wrong with you when now? Why unga, no. Walk away from people like that and unfollow those people, because they are no good for you or your self-esteem, especially if you are not at a place where you can be discerning about it. When you're not at a place where somebody posts something fantastic and it bothers you, or you feel like your life is not worth it. Guys, we all can't be at the same level all the time, okay? And no, somebody else's money is their money and your money is your money. You should be worried about your money and working for what you want and spending it however you want to spend it, on whatever causes you want to spend it on. So it's I know it's a very long answer to to a question, but I feel really strongly about that. If you're constantly looking at people and thinking, your life is not worthy, and if you are surrounded by people who don't encourage you, who don't make you feel like, I want to get up, I want to go, I want to, if you are surrounded by people that don't uplift your energy, or if you are that person that does not uplift other people's energies, people must unfollow you, must exit your life. It is that simple. I'm very clear. If I don't add value to your life, please don't follow me. I don't need followers. I don't need millions and millions of people following me and laughing at my stupid things. No, I'll post it even if it's just for myself. That's how much I entertain myself. But I love engaging with people who want to do better, who want to change their lives and transform their thinking. Now, I'm not the chosen one and the prescription on what life is. No, I'll just tell you how I've done it. I'll share my life experience. If there's something that you would like to take from it, that's fantastic. But remember, I've also walked some of these paths that many people are walking. Now, of course, it will never be the same experience. It's a similar experience, but how we receive it is different. So, it's important to be discerning about who you keep in your life. Even the friends you've had for years, don't hang on to them, Shem, because I think if you're still hanging on to friends that you've been friends with for 20 years, 30 years, and nothing has shifted in your life, I don't know. If you haven't evolved and your friendship hasn't evolved and yourself hasn't evolved, and then something is not right. And so that's very important. The energy you keep around you can be such a key determinant in who you become. And if you're with people that hide, that constantly criticize you. If you're criticizing me, Shem, I don't want to be friends with you. Let me just be clear. No, I don't want only people who praise me. No, I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at. But when you spend your entire life trying to tell me what I'm not good at or what I suck at, what about the stuff that I really love doing? How about we just spend more time on that? Eh? So we are in a world. Corporates, in fact, have also molded us into these beings that are constantly questioning your weaknesses. You've got weaknesses. You must focus on your weaknesses and develop and work on them. I don't care for your weaknesses, okay? I just care for what you're passionate about. I just care that you're trying. I just care that you're living your life. And if there's something that I have an opinion on, I'm going to ask you, hey, listen, I think I can recommend something. And it's up to you if you want to do it or not, And I really think we must be discerning about who we keep around ourselves. Because, hey, man, this thing of just going around picking up, we want to be everyone's cup of tea when Guys, no, it's not right. Because then you just consume all of that. You consume all of their energy and they dump on you, okay? They dump on you, dump. And it's like, where's the uplifting energy? When I walk away now, I want to feel like I'm walking on cloud 9. I'm like, I am so energized. So it's important, and I'm that person. I'd rather just stay without friends if I don't have people that encourage me to be my best version. And they don't have to tell me, do this, Amanda. They can just be themselves. They can just be their authentic selves. They can just be living their lives. They can just be like, shucks, I'm struggling with this, but you know what? This is what I've done. What do you think? They can just be like, you know what, my friend, I'm just pushing. I'm living. Those are the people I want to be with. Those are the people I want to be friends with. And it doesn't matter what class or social status they come from. It doesn't matter. What matters is that they have given it their all. They're investing in their lives. They believe they're worthy of their lives. I know I'm carrying on. Preach, Mama, preach. All right, let me see another question. We are well over an hour. What has happened, guys? Clearly something changed when I was away. Tell me what has happened, because it hasn't cut us off. We're still here, so I'm just gonna keep going. All right, let me see another question. Okay, Tandraga says, what decisions have you taken to have financial freedom? Please think of steps you as the younger Amanda. Decisions to have financial freedom. So, first of all, you must be, I think there's money and then there's financial freedom. And the two don't necessarily, mean the same thing. Money can enable your freedom, yes. However, you will never be able to be free if you do not understand who you are and how money impacts you. And I've said this on Vastly Sage on YouTube. Go and watch that episode if you'd like to. I said, it's important to understand how your upbringing has shaped your understanding of money and what relationship you have with money. So again, all of these things I talk about investing in yourself, spending time with yourself, and etc. These are all the building blocks to getting to all these questions and these life-changing moments. So I was always clear that I wanted to be successful. But my success, first of all, came as I need to understand who Amanda wants to be. Because I came from a place where I was told who I am and what I am and who I should be. I came from a place where people did what they wanted to do to me. So I had to rebuild the foundation and say, okay, I've got now the benefit of being a little older. I'm no longer a child. I now am the person that's in charge of my life. What does that look like for me? Who am I? What do I want for my life? And in that moment, I knew that, and this dates back to 21 years old, I knew that I wanted to have money. I knew that for me, money meant the freedom to choose. Yes? Not financial freedom. Money meant the freedom to choose what I wanted to do with my life. So it meant I don't have to stay in a relationship I don't want to stay in purely because someone is looking after me financially, or that I'm dependent on them financially. No. So, freedom to choose. 2, I didn't want to be stuck in places and with people that I didn't want to be with because I'm dependent on them to do something for me. So I was very clear that money was my ticket to success in the sense of giving me the power to choose. Guys, you are fooling yourself if you think money does not change the world. Money changes the world. When you have money, people treat you differently because they know that you can walk away from them. You can walk away from their store. They know that you have choices. They know that they don't. And I mean, I'm not talking about, friendships. Yeah, but I think that matters too. I mean, I want to run with wolves, Moss. I'm a wolf, isn't it? Somebody needs to tell me what happened to Instagram whilst I was away. They've opened up this thing. Was it just for me? No. So yeah, I was very clear about what money was going to do for me. So it's not just about money, because you can have the money. It's about what does it mean for you. So if for you financial freedom means you don't have to be stuck in relationships that don't matter, you don't have to, be treated like you're a second-class citizen. That's the one thing I can tell you for sure. When I say money gives me the freedom to choose, I was willing to work for it so that I have it. So from when I was 23 years old, I started hustling, had businesses. I was selling things out of the boot of my car. So you name it, and you can read this in my book. I write about it extensively. But I knew that I was treated as a second-class citizen in my life, as a child all my life, as a teenager, you name it. When I was in a position to make money, I had to work to get to that. I had to get my education. I had to hustle hard, you name it. But I knew that would be a game changer for me. Because guess what? Futhi abelungu abakujwayeli kanti mawunemali, abakuqheli, bakuqhela xa unganamali. So we can't take that away from South Africa. We've come from a time and a place where black people were always treated as second-class citizens. And sadly, we continue to be, because our financial freedom has not come and our economic freedom has not come. And no, I have nothing to do with the EFF and its policies. I'm just telling you, Mina, what I believe. So if singenze imali, we are going to be constantly second-class citizens. But again, it has to be done with integrity in the right way. You must stand up for it in public court, in public scrutiny, you name it. So andifuni uqhelwa mina, and xa unganamali uyaqhelwa. You uyaqhelwa kha. It's like, and mind you, get bayakuqhela even unemali. But the level of uqhela, when you have the money, my friend Zamo calls it FU money. When you have that money, you are very easily, you can deal with them so quickly. Ubati, slice so quickly. It doesn't even carry on beyond that moment with big zama. Yeah, but so this is why it is so important. We must take it seriously. We must take our jobs seriously. We must take ourselves seriously. We must do everything we touch, we must touch with the sense that you're not going to have a chance again, but also that moment, that opportunity is about enabling your better life, is about enabling dignity. I say I'm in the business of giving people dignity. That's my purpose in life. So it means I create jobs so that Umtu doesn't have to aqhelwe and stand in the corner begging for something. So that's in the long roundabout way. No, guys, it's true. It's true. I'm telling you all the things you know. Thank you. Somebody asked me, do you have fears? If so, what is your strategy of dealing with anxiety? Okay, so I don't have fears, except the fear of my children getting hurt. So a lot of my fears are about the mother part of me. But now I don't have any fears. Outside of that, there is nothing that I fear. I don't fear the dark. It's a thing. My husband fears the dark. Don't tell him I told you. I'm the person at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll get up from my bedroom and walk throughout the house, going around checking. I even have, I said this to a friend of mine. I said, I always wonder about the universe and the world that we live in. And I always think, this is my home, this is my house. But what if there's a shift in the middle of the night and that another family actually gets to enjoy this home? Every time I say that, my husband just freaks out proper. I'm like, yeah, what if? So now I get up in the middle of the night and I come and I stand in the dark and I want to see what's happening. Yeah, so no, I don't have any fear. I don't have any fear because I have such amazing self-belief. But of course, I'm sure if something popped out in the middle of the night, I would faint. But until then, I'm like, where are you? So yeah, no, I have zero fear in my bones, because I realized at some point that, fear is just, your mind is just lying to you. But I also know for a fact that fear comes from a deep place of how you were brought up, the things you've experienced. And very few of us have had our worst fears come true, to be honest. I mean, if you're being honest with yourself, there are very few times in life where your worst fears have come true. I think fear is just your mind limiting you from pushing on or moving forward because of how you were brought up. Fear of being successful. In fact, people say they fear failure. No, they don't fear failure. Sometimes people fear success because I'm quite au fait with failure because I've come from, apartheid. I've come from bad homes. I've come from poor homes. You name it. But I'm not equipped for success, and that people fear. And somebody, the imposter syndrome is something that gets asked all the time. That's really what it is. It's you don't believe you deserve your success. That's why. Because you've come from a place that says you don't deserve it. You come from a place that says just the color of your skin, you don't deserve to be here. You don't deserve to have the good life. You don't deserve greatness. You name it. You've come from that. So you can't ignore the things that are sitting inside of you. I don't know how much more I can say about that. You can't ignore them because they are there. They are ingrained in your DNA and who you are. Yours is to make sure you understand what they are and how they show up and how you can change the way you show up. Because some of them you can't do anything about. They're ingrained in your DNA, but you can understand what they are and then you change how you deal with them. And I think that's true empowerment. That's where it really, really matters. I can't change anything about my traumatic past, but I can understand how it shows up and how I'm going to deal with it. I can understand how those demons that are sitting inside of me show up when I'm succeeding, when I'm killing it and doing amazing things. And I know exactly how to tell them, sit down. And I don't ask nicely. So it's a process of understanding. It's investing in yourself. It's understanding where you are, where you're going, who are you, why are you here. I can assure you, if you can answer those questions for yourself, you never have to be trying to lick anyone's behind your entire life. I can assure you. I've put it to the test, and I'm pretty sure you can too. I am on fire. I'm energized. Okay, let's see. Any chance, so there's a question that says, any chance of a podcast? And I've seen that quite a lot. I do Vastly Sage on YouTube, guys. That's about as much as I'm going to do. So please do subscribe to Vastly Sage on YouTube. This question says, can you please give an example of how one invests in themselves? An example of how you invest in yourself is everything I've pretty much said. So, so please watch this live again. Every single thing about how you invest in yourself, I've said it. But the other part that I want to add is, especially if you're a person with limited time and you've got a family or whatever, that you're busy with. It is the smallest and the seemingly insignificant things that can change your life about how you invest in yourself. So if you think about when you're gonna go do your nails or your hair or whatever, a lot of people are constantly fitting it into, okay, I'm gonna go into the supermarket, then quickly do my nails, then no. Go, sit, do your nails. And you know what, guys? Take that drink offer that they give you. Even if it's water, take it. Even tea, take it. They often say they're offering you champagne, but all they're giving you is MCC. Whatever. I don't take the MCC, but take it. If you're gonna call something champagne, let it be champagne, please. Otherwise, you are just insulting me and offending me, Gashi. So anyway, that's a detour. So the things that are seemingly mundane and you must quickly do them, don't quickly do them. Slow yourself down, pause, and appreciate in that hour and a half. Appreciate that that's an hour and a half you never get. That's an hour and a half of just your time. And you know what? I know you people go to these places to, gossip and talk. No, don't do it. Just keep quiet. Like, let them touch your nails and do them wonderfully. Do not engage in conversation. Think. Like, just take that time and be with yourself. Even if you're not thinking about something earth-shattering. I just sit in my house sometimes. Like, literally, TV off, and I just sit. Just sit. And it is just me and myself, and we talk about nothing. You'll be amazed at how much just that significantly changes your outlook on life. So investing in yourself is about understanding what you're consuming, what energy are you taking in, how do you show up. When you're tired, do you listen to your body? Are you kind to yourself? Are you embracive of who you are? Or are you your worst critic? People, and I think I also at some point, I was like, I'm my own worst critic. No, there's nothing cute about that, okay? People are going to criticize you already. So why are you doubling up on effort? Just be your greatest fan, your greatest fan. You know that fan, even if when I loser every day, they're like, "Aye, we are right behind you." Yes, I think it's Kaiser Chiefs fans. So, be your greatest fan. Don't be your worst critic. I don't think there's anything cute about that. Honestly, that's just reinforces this idea that we must always find fault with ourselves. No, people are already going to do that. Please don't do it. Find the things that you are just like, wow. And even when you've messed up, still get up and be like, but you know what? I'm going to try again. And in that moment where you're feeling like you have to actually talk yourself down, think about the things that you actually do manage to do very well and be proud of those. So always think about that. Even, just basic things, small things, just be present in your life. That's how you invest in yourself. When it's all said and done, it's about being present in your life and using all of those moments that you have, no matter how short they are or how long they are, using them in recognizing that you exist and that you deserve a great life and that you deserve to be happy, and that if you are not fulfilled, nobody around you is going to be fulfilled, because all you're going to do, remember, if you just have toxic fumes, all you're doing is giving toxic fumes to your family, you're giving toxic fumes to your friend, toxic fumes to your job. So you can't be running on empty and think that you're going to change anyone's life. You can't. It's impossible. It's proven. It's not just Amanda's opinion. And it really is fundamental that you start to see yourself as the being that deserves to be happy, that deserves a good life. Guys, I see how much women want to buy themselves that really nice perfume or that really nice expensive product for their face, but they keep questioning why they're going to spend that much money. I've got some of my friends here, I won't mention them by names. It's, why must I buy myself such an expensive bag? But you go around buying people everything. You go pay hundreds of thousands in school fees. You go buy your significant others, you name it. Friends have birthdays. You are the one that's buying great gifts, but you never feel like you deserve that yourself. I think we need to rethink what we were taught about being selfish and what that actually means. And understand that if it's not serving you, it's something you shouldn't be hanging on to, because you grow resentful. You know how resentful, you know when people are resentful, I'm always thinking, yes, about spoil Abba. I'm like, you just need to spoil yourself. Once you start spoiling yourself and understanding that you deserve it, yes, you're pretty chilled about life. My book, Amazon is only for overseas market and ebooks. So if you're in South Africa, buy amandatambuza.com. And let's see. I appreciate this. Thank you, Grace. Grace says, I'm simply a game changer, no questions. Thank you. There's questions, this one, emotions can get us into trouble at work or in business. Should we normalize emotions, or how should they be managed? Now, I don't understand what you mean by should we normalize emotions, because I don't think there's anything to normalize about emotions. Emotions are emotions. We have them. That's it. And again, I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but these kind of conversations, wording or words come from a place of when you are a woman and you react in a certain way, you are emotional. I can 100% assure you, men are the most emotional beings. And you all know it. You all know it. But when you are in a job and you just so happen to have a response that other people don't approve of because you're a woman, how dare you let your emotions take over? That's nonsense, okay? In fact, the people who should be taught emotional intelligence are the ones, I don't want to be sexist or anything, but... So there's nothing to normalize about emotions. We just come from a place where we were told women must cross their legs, wear flowery dresses, wear bright lipstick, or only say yes, and no, you don't have an opinion, or no. So you can never ever underestimate these things. Men are incredibly emotional. I always say, people say women have PS. What's that thing kind of you get when you have periods? PMS. Woo, guys, I don't have it, so I've never had it, and I haven't had to deal with periods in a long time. I've got a Mirena. Yeah, side effects are the wonderful stuff. But I mean, I've had to do a lot of stuff post my last pregnancy. I write about this in Baked in Pain. Jesus, I don't have secrets. Yeah, I know, PMS. I remembered. I always think they have it worse. But it's always associated with women. I mean, what is that thing on that dictionary when you are unwell, you are going through menstruation? What is this, 1924? I mean, what rubbish. So I say get emotional if you want to get emotional. Whatever your emotional is. Laughing is an emotion. Crying is an emotion. Responding, everything is an emotion. So there's nothing to normalize. You're not going to change who you are. But you just have to work out what is going to get you the greatest success. So your response, and if your response, if in the moment you're like, if you think you're going to get the desired outcome, go for it. So I would personally say there's nothing to normalize with emotions, but just work out what the landscape is and work out what is your desired outcome. Because sometimes you gotta show people, because I'm always laughing and smiling and hugging and, being kumbaya team player, but don't think that is a weakness. So just remember that all of these rules come from a place of agenda, and you need to be clear about what that agenda is. And are you subscribing to that agenda, yes or no? So there's nothing to normalize about your emotions, but just be strategic about when to use what emotion for the outcome you desire. I would say that's it. Okay, so let's see. Dr. Chris Mfega says, do you believe in burning bridges or moving on gracefully, relationships and friendships? I'm the person that really believes in, I want to say, There are bridges that deserve to be burnt, okay? Let me just put it that way. The bridges that you like, actually, you know what? I never ever want this bridge to ever come up again, because chances of me having to cross it might come. So burn those bridges and don't be afraid to. I'm the person though that I tend not to even explain myself. If there's something that, if my energy says, I'm gone, like, I am so gone, I don't even explain myself. For me, that's gracefully. I just think I've come, there are people in my life that I would probably owe a bit of a talking about something that, you know, offends me. But those are not people I would want to walk away from. You know, in friendships, sometimes you say something that you didn't mean to offend someone, or, you know, you went away that your words landed in a certain way. And I think that the greatest show of loyalty for me is engaging that person. But there's also energy that actually, you know what, I refuse to engage. And I know that this energy is toxic and I'm going to move away, walk away. So only you know what bridges deserve to be burnt, and you must burn them. You know, it's a no-brainer. You know, and don't stick around places you shouldn't be in, because then no. What Lebuchan says, what other things can one do to justify their existence in corporate world? If you don't mind sharing what you've done previously. No, I've never had to justify my existence. If you don't like what I offer, if you don't like how I do my job, if you think I don't know, whatever, that's your problem, you deal with it. Of course, in corporate, someone is going to penalize you for that kind of attitude. So I don't, again, I must be very clear. You should never have to justify your existence. Never. That's like justifying why you were born. That's unacceptable. At all levels, that's unacceptable. Proving your worth in terms of your abilities and how what your value is to the organization. Because that's what organizations do. They derive value from you. But you must also ensure that you derive value from them and you derive reward from them. So you do your job and do it as expected, and stay away from freaking gossip. Stay away from being the instigator of a bad culture. Stay away from licking people's behinds and only associating yourself with certain kinds of people because they're seemingly the it people. The it people could be it today and not it tomorrow, and you're out in the cold. So build up those relationships right across. But if you have to justify your existence, that's a problem. That's a serious problem, actually. But proving your job and that you're great at your job, that's what you do every day. Show up when you're supposed to show up, and show up as though you will not have another chance. Don't slack and say, I'm just saying, no. Your competence is the one thing no one will take away from you. And to be honest, if you're competent and skilled and you're able to show your abilities, people sometimes stay away from you because they know that they need you to shine, especially the ones who are not very, but they know how to, you know they want them to embark. So don't ever have to justify your existence. That's demeaning. That is something that never has to happen. But of course, show your worth through doing your job, nothing else. Do your job. Guys, it's just a job, honestly. I've learned so many things since I've left corporate, things that I can assure you, if I was still in corporate, I probably could have done differently. And I'm like, it's funny how you commit your entire being to a job. It's a job. Do it to the best of your ability and go home and have a life. It's not, it gets incredibly difficult when people get retrenched or, dismissed for whatever reason, because they're like, but I give my life to it. No, don't give your life to a job. It's just a job, guys. They can replace you tomorrow, honestly. And some of you know because you've already had to go through that. So I think though, when you're busy building your career and you're trying to get to a certain place of success, you might lose sight of the fact that it's actually really just a job. And all of you are just human beings with problems and exciting lives, and you name it, you are all human beings Your boss is a human being, doesn't go to the toilet and poop ice cream. There's chief executive, they might earn hundreds of millions. They are still just a human being. And there is nowhere where they are created more equal than you. Absolutely not. They might have a job that's levels above yours with bigger responsibility, but that does not mean when you must justify your existence and they don't have to, you know. And no human being should ever have to justify their existence. That is offensive. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, relationships too. I mean, that's standard. Why must you that person must justify their existence to you? Let's see. I think I already answered a question from you. Let me take others because there's quite a lot. At which point in your life did you decide to quit corporate and pursue your purpose and passion? You can read my book, Baked in Pain. I say quite a lot about that. So, yeah, you see, I actually want to pick this one up where someone says, thank you for the advice. I've been working 16 to 18 hours a day and denying my son the time. I've said this in my book as well, and I've said it on a lot of lives. I was that person who would work 12 to 13 hours a day. My body was taking a knock. I was, my coach even said to me, Amanda, you need to stop taking the bullet for the organization. I was that person I was fighting everyone's cause, the women's cause, the black people's cause, you name it. I was fighting it. I was fighting everything. I was fighting because I'm like, I'm the one that's going to change it, And the truth is that that's okay and that's noble if that's the cause you've taken. But don't neglect to understand that if you are not okay, if your body has burnt out, if you are not okay, none of these things that you're fighting are actually going to be realized. So it's like this vicious circle. So you have to know and learn when to take a step back. But above everything else, everybody can do whatever, say whatever. The people that suffer the most when you are not okay is your family, your children, your significant others, your loved ones, whoever they are. They suffer the most. And I always tell people, even in my company, ask anyone who works in my company, they'll tell you, if you work after 4:30 or 5 o'clock, whatever your time is, if you got in at 9 and whatever, I don't know, if you are still at work at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, I'm like, I don't pay you for that time. You know that, right? If you are working on the weekend, I don't know why you have to work on the weekend, first and foremost. I can assure you that I do not pay you for that time. And when I'm allocating your bonus and your increase, I don't think, hey, Shem Yasmara, she works on weekends. No. So you are stealing from yourself and you are stealing from your family. Now, these are the people that suffer the most when you do these things. Don't get me wrong. Be at work, do your job, and do your job to the best of your ability. My team has flexibility. I mean, I've got a guy, our financial manager, he's been based out of Abu Dhabi since we could travel to be with his wife and kid. It's my financial manager. He's got a critical role, but he can do this job in looking at a beach. He can do this job anywhere. He out of courtesy, of course, he'll tell me, because in Dubai, Sunday is a working day. He'll say, I'm not going to work on the Friday, but, I'll pick up on Sunday. I'm like, okay, I mean, do whatever you want. Honestly, I just care about delivery of a service. I care about the job being done. So I think we've come to a world, though, so where we've also had to reassess what really matters. And the ability to be present in your life is really the real currency. And if you can integrate your work into your lifestyle, that's everything. That's even better. But and you will tell me about this. You should, and I don't ever want to sound stereotypical or making blanket statements. But some of us who've been in corporate, we've experienced it. The black people are the ones who mostly feel apologetic about just even stepping out to go watch their son play soccer for now. The one thing white people do very well, They will leave a very important meeting and go watch their child do something. And that was my experience. And again, it comes from our upbringing. It comes from our sense of self. It comes from our understanding that we don't have to justify our existence. But we've come from a history, a past, a childhood where we've had to justify our existence. And those things are not okay. So you are busy robbing your family of their rightful time with you. They didn't ask to be born. No child. I always say this to parents. I'm like, this thing of expecting children to lick your feet because you gave birth to them. Let's be clear. We all know how it happened, okay? We can go through things step by step. They didn't ask to be born. You didn't do them a favor. So why must they carry on and get second, leftovers, crumbs? And they often get the crumbs. They get the crumbs. The job gets the best of you, but the job gives you nothing at the end of the day. Of course, you get a salary that's wonderful. You can change your life. But you give so much more to the job than what you get paid for. And I can assure you, I've been in corporate. I've been a leader in corporate multiple times. I know these cultures. I know what we do. I did it myself. But until I wisened up and I said, no more. I deserve to own my time. And I deserve to do what I want to do with it. Now, I'm not saying everyone must come out here and be an entrepreneur, and you've heard me say that before. Stay in your corporate job if you're a corporate person, but please just remember, you cannot keep stealing from yourself just so you can keep a job. And it's not that easy to fire people anyway, I can assure you. So if you're worried about being fired and you want to work yourself to death just so that you don't get fired, chances are you will end up being fired anyway, because then you're going to be so sick because you don't listen to your body. You name it, it's a vicious circle. Don't steal from yourself and your family. Do your job and do it to the best of your ability. In fact, the less time you spend waddling the corridors and talking nonsense, and focus on the job at hand and do what you need to do, collaborate with your team members, do what you need to do, the sooner you can get out of there and go live the rest of your life. And I think that's all I'm going to say on that. Let's see. How do you fight your inner feeling with the reality of financial stability when wanting to break? Sorry, just write that question again. I don't understand it. I think just write it again, please. Is it about taking a break from a job? Is it about I don't know. Just tell me. Yeah. So just on that point. I also, listen, one of the changes I made when I left corporate, because when I left corporate, I was burning out. I had overextended myself so much. I gave nothing to my family. They got crumbs every single day. I'd get home at night and still open my laptop, and I was a CIO at a bank. If a system was down, if anything, I was constantly on calls. I would have a dinner whilst a call is running. We'd be on vacation. I'd be constantly on my laptop. I would run to the bathroom and hide myself just to respond to emails. I was a serious workaholic. But, I can never hide behind the workaholic part of it. I allowed myself to get consumed by an organization that was not mine, firstly. But two, I got myself so caught up in everybody's issues and wars that I took them on myself. And I'd never change anything about that. But I think how I went about it, I would definitely change. I overextended myself and never gave my body a break. I didn't listen to myself. I was constantly drinking coffee. I was not eating good food. I was not eating. So all of these things, they add up. And I've had friends who just have a stroke while they're sitting at their desk, because the stress of these jobs is incredible. It's incredible, especially when you're not managing it well. So stay in a corporate job, but manage your stress levels well, and understand that you cannot be effective in your job if you yourself are not fulfilled, are not replenished and your family is not okay. So it's a vicious circle of and vicious cycle as well of wanting to change your family's life and your life, overly working yourself to a point where you actually are no longer effective for anyone or anything. So putting yourself first in everything you do is critical. It is the game changer. It is what gives the most to your organization, because you are at your best. And also, it is what gives the best to your family because you're at your best. And it's what gives the best to you because you are at your best. So I really think, if you're still wondering why it's so important to invest in yourself, I hope that answers it. All right, so what time are we at? 10 more minutes and then I'll get off, because now I also need to go and chill with my people. Somebody was asking where are they? They're on the other side. They're also living their lives. Priscilla says, how does our organization reach out to you to come speak at one of our transformation sessions? You feel free to send me a direct message and then I can just direct you from there. I don't speak for free, just so you know. These nice facial products don't buy themselves. Yeah, no. Please send me a DM and I can talk to you about that. Okay, let's see. Bev says, I think this is such a thoughtful and thought-provoking Insta Live. Please post on YouTube, firstly, Sage. I'll do my best, love. Let's see. Yes, it's true. You can't be everything to everyone. And we try so hard, and I don't understand why. Especially us women, we try to do it all. But ask for help, hire help, do what you need to do, But I also think there's something to be said for talking to your children and everyone around you about the fact that you need time off, you need a break, you need to, just sit in the garden or sit on in a balcony or sit in your stoop, whatever you do, and just have some time to yourself. We feel incredibly guilty when we do that. But I don't know how much more I can say. If you don't understand that if you're not okay, no one around you is okay, then maybe you'll have an appreciation of how important it is that you are okay. And it's also, and yeah, it's actually a point I wanted to make, Nosipo, that we have to be conscious about what we're feeding our children as well, because if we keep feeding them this notion of Superwoman, Wonder Woman, I can do it all, no, I can't. It's the truth. I just can't. So, it's like, what are we trying to teach them? We're teaching the girl children that you have to kill yourself trying to make everyone happy. We're teaching the boy child that, hey, mama is Superwoman, and then when they get married they expect these things from people, and these people are like, no, I didn't come from a home like that, you cook for yourself, so it's very important that we are aware of what we are feeding them, and we feed it through our actions, through what we do every single day, through what they observe as their reality. And if we can just give them a great start, a start that says other people being happy at your expense is not the right start. Do what you want to do. If it's what you want to do it, but please understand that you also have to be keeping an eye on yourself, because if you are not looked after, no one is. It's just as simple as that, to be honest. But we constantly are feeling guilty. We carry a lot of guilt because that's where we've come from. But reward yourself, please. This is spoiling, man. When you're like, yes, this is spoiling. I even spoil myself before my birthday. Well, I spoil myself all the time. But I'll spoil myself before my birthday. I'm like, what if I don't get to my birthday? I'm like, this is my birthday gift. It's like, but your birthday is a couple of weeks away. I'm like, yeah, but if I don't get there? So yeah, absolutely fill your cup up, fill your bucket up, whatever you need to do, however you do it, make sure it's healthy, it's fulfilling your soul, it's in alignment with your beliefs, and that it is in alignment with who you are trying to become. And if you come from a place of you want to give your family a great life, you want to give your children a great start in life, great foundation, be conscious of what you are doing every day to enable that, because sometimes we get so caught up in trying to give the financial freedom to them or the financial aspects of that vision that we miss out on the things that actually matter the most. Yeah, it matters that you can send them to school, but when all is said and done, it's the life lessons that we give them that I think carry them very far, with or without the education ultimately. But we want them to have a great start. You want that foundation to be strong. And I always say, we should be raising children that will become the adults we would like to see in the world. And that starts with what we put into them every single day. And this I can never, emphasize enough. So let me see. I'll take one more question and then I'll end the session. Let's see. What did I say? You guys are laughing at something. It's been really great to do this session, I must say. I always say that I'm not a person that just speaks for the sake of speaking. If I'm gonna say something, I come on these platforms so that I say something, that I think is fundamental, and I worry about a lot of people who want to leave their corporate jobs and want to be boss ladies and show off this lifestyle of slicing, killing it, and then they go home crying to bank accounts that are empty because they're not making any money, their businesses are suffering. But they'd rather portray this idea of I'm successful. I worry about people, so many people that I want to give business to, and I soon realized, no, these people are actually more in love with the idea of being successful than actual working to be successful. I worry about that. I worry about, when I say worry, no, I don't lose sleep over it because it's not my life. I don't care. But I care about the people who consume those things and suddenly think their lives are not great. They are useless. Look where your peers are. No, your peers might just be faking where they are. Okay, let's just be clear about that. Don't go and minimize your own life because you've seen somebody looking successful. Looking successful and being successful are two very different things, okay? So I have to deal with those things. So if you're in a corporate job, please stay in your corporate job. Do the best of your ability. To the best of your ability. Don't leave things up for chance, because I've been on every single side of the table you can think of. If you leave things up for chance, when there's time to reduce the staff numbers, you are top of that list because you leave things up to chance. So touch it as though it's not gonna come again. Touch it as though that's your last opportunity. Touch it as though that moment is the moment your next boss might be watching you. Because that's how jobs happen. Another division wants you because they saw you doing this. They saw how you interacted with it. They saw how you stood up and took charge of a situation. You name it. Do it. You can derive so much success in corporate. In fact, guys, corporate is nice money because you can just hide behind a pillar for one day. In business, there's no hiding anyway. It's all on you. So don't hide behind any pillars, by the way. They'll find you. But the point is that somebody else does all of the things that you get to worry about that you get to worry about in a job, So you get to have, you own your time, you do what you want to do with it. But the truth is that it also comes at a cost, and you must decide what that cost is. And if you are just in this lifetime to just work like a slave and get no enjoyment or fulfillment out of your life? When last did you just, I don't know, order in a nice meal, where do you even look at expensive restaurants, or is it one of those things where you're like, no, I'd rather cook at home? No, I mean, if you have the ability to do it, guys, we're gonna die and leave these things behind. That's the reality of it. So I always tell my husband, I'm like, sure, Nashem, I absolutely gonna spend my money on myself proper. Like I shock my husband sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I don't even mince my words. He's like, yo, babe, do you really? I'm like, yeah, I do, because someday I'll be gone. I'm gonna leave you a lot of money. You're gonna be so rich. You're gonna take my money and spend it on that fresh meat. And guess what? You're gonna be putting them on private jets. You're gonna be buying shopping sprees. You name it. All the things that now I'm busy sitting here thinking, I know I mustn't, because no. Enjoy your hard-earned money. Your hard-earned money must be enjoyed. That's how you keep it coming. Because you get to taste it. You're like, you get to taste it and you want it to keep coming, so you keep working for it. But you teach your children that it is okay. You teach your children that you must have invested, you must have your estate planned right. All of those wonderful investment things. Do that. Put away for rainy season, but eat it now. Don't like be putting yourself down the list, when now you keep dropping down. No, be responsible, look after your family, do what you must, but if you've got the means, do it. And it doesn't mean you should be buying yourself big things. No, just like, how long have you been eyeing that perfume? I mean, I don't know, which one do you want? I don't know, the Tom Ford. Hambu uyithenga unuke kamnandi uyifake even before ulale. Do it, I just think, if anything, this life, this pandemic, this period, this season, if it hasn't reminded us of that, I don't know, guys, really, honestly. So make sure that your wheels are sorted. Every bank account, in fact, almost always comes with a free will service. Write up your will. Even if you're saying, I don't have a lot of assets. No, in a will, you also get to choose who can look after your children when you're gone. And these are very important things, because these are people that will carry your legacy. They will carry, how you've been raising your children. You get to choose. If you didn't specify that in your will, you will have families fighting over your children, thinking you have a lot of money and they're gonna get it. You all know what I'm talking about. So it's true, guys. Yeah, these things. And then you become resentful when you see people living their lives. No, enjoy your life, because you'll leave all this money behind, Shem. I can tell you that much. Then now I even buy the best of everything, because I have girl children. So and they've started wearing my things. So I have a responsibility to make sure whatever I buy for myself is high quality. Then they can inherit it. I've got my son, who also loves my stuff. He clearly loves my jewelry too, because he's given it to a girl before. I was like, yeah, too soon. But I eat it now. I agree, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a great 2 hours. In fact, a little over 2 hours. And yeah, we can't underestimate how hard we work, and that we must absolutely enjoy it. And and I think really when you start enjoying your life, your energy levels are higher when you enjoy the rewards of your hard-earned work. And you actually worry less about other people, you worry more about yourself. And yeah, and Asa says, and if you put yourself last, you'll end up very bitter and resentful. Absolutely, because you never do anything for yourself. So it doesn't have to be big things. You don't have to have lots of money. You don't have to, have a lot, but you can actually make the little that you have go a long way. Of course, I'm not tone deaf. I understand that a lot of people don't even have the basics, but I'm just saying, in the moments that you have, in the life that you have, learn to maximize what you've got, even if it's just time for yourself. And if you're going through hard times, I mean, I can assure you, I know it from personal experience, that they don't last. They seem like they're going on forever, but you just have to keep going, keep pushing on until your life changes, and I've said this, I said it on the Insider essay the other day. Thank you to those who were able to watch. And I've said it in my book. I've said it multiple times on, my platforms. It's hard times, seasons to change. Hard times, they're hard, but maybe that's what you need to just appreciate even more the good times, and to appreciate where you've come from. So I just I appreciate you. I appreciate you tuning in. I have enjoyed this. I feel like it was really time well spent, and I appreciate all your feedback. Thank you so much, and thank you, and take good care of yourselves, and know that you are worthy of it all. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of greatness. You're worthy of the standard that you have set for yourself. And if you haven't reached it yet, never lose sight of it, but keep fighting for it. Keep pushing for it, and don't try and find shortcuts in life. I don't ever know of someone who tried to take a shortcut and it ended up successful. I've never taken any shortcuts. So for me, everything has had to be about waiting, has had to be about patience, has had to be about hard work, has had to be about self-belief, and the understanding that I will get where I want to get. But in the moment that I have, I do it to the best of my ability, and appreciate that God has still given me breath, and I've got brains, I've got all my limbs, so I doubt there's anything to complain about. So I'll just keep pushing no matter what. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm enjoying your feedback. Thank you so much. Take good care, guys. Until we meet again, subscribe to Wesley Sage on YouTube. That's where I'm going to do that mentorship session. There was a question about that. I will let you know. I'll announce when I'm going to do it, because I also have to be, in the right mental frame of mind, emotional. But I'm there. I'm feeling myself. I'm like, you're killing this, babe. so now, yeah, I'm going to be doing that, and I'll announce when I'm going to do it. But you have to send your questions to vasleysage@amandadambuza.com. I did say before that I won't be able to respond to any mentorship questions on my DMs, but I have been responding because, well, I'm that person. But my response is, please send it to vasleysage@amandadambuza.com. And I'll spend another 2 hours every month tackling those, and I can prepare nicely for them, and give you, as much resources as I can. But yeah, and yes, I am an Aquarian. Somebody did ask. I am full on Aquarian. 10 Feb is my birthday, and this ring is my birthstone. Spoil yourself. Bye, guys. Take good care. Bye. Now I need to know, since it doesn't end itself, how do I end it? So wait. Let's do this. Bye, guys. Take care.